Hello, welcome back. Me again, obviously. So, today we're going to try and sort something out with these carpets in this car. Now, excuse me. I know you can buy Spitfire carpets on eBay or various other motoring websites. I know that. You can buy the cheap ones, all cut to the right shape, which are about 150 odd pounds, or you can buy the moulded ones, which are obviously much nicer, but they're about 450 pounds. And, you know me, I'm not paying 450 pounds, I'm not paying 150 pounds for them. Now, obviously I already have carpets in the car, which I picked up locally. They're okay. They don't really sort of cover the way I want them to, but, you know, okay, they're doable. So, my first idea was, let's just buy some carpet, make my own templates, cut it up, put some nice edging tape on it, Velcro, poppers, whatever I need, one smooth carpet all the way from the seat, over the spar, up the front behind the pedals. Simple, you'd think, right? Black carpet? No. Nowhere locally sells black carpet. People don't really have black carpet in their houses, and that's what I'm looking for, household carpet. I want something with a nice sort of thick pile like you get in classic cars. Here is some carpet, just some offcuts. Okay, it's filthy, but you get the idea. It's a Hessian backed carpet. It's pretty old school, but it's exactly the sort of thing I want. Can you find black Hessian backed carpet? No. I can get it online, but the problem with buying carpet online is that carpet comes in 4 metre wide rolls. So the minimum denomination you can buy is going to be 4 metres wide, and they start at about 2 metres in length and go up from there. And the cheapest you're looking at is about £50 for a piece of that carpet. I'm not paying £50 for a piece of carpet. And I'm sorry, I'm such a skinflint. I know some of you are just like, mate, it's 50 quid for a set of carpet, just buy it. But I can't bring myself to do it, alright? I'm sorry. So, I've been to the local carpet shops. No one's got any black carpet, no one's got any offcuts, no one's got anything. You can buy van carpet, the 2-way or 4-way stretch carpet like you use for doing the back of vans. The problem is it's about 2 mil. It's really, really thin, and by its very nature, stretch carpet, it's too thin for this purpose. I could spray glue carpet down on the inside of the whole car, like you do in a van, and actually mould it in there, and that would look quite nice as well. But I like the idea of being able to take the carpets out of the car in case it ever gets wet or I need to do anything to it. I don't want to be ripping carpet off, pulling all the paint up with it. I'd rather just have carpets that just sit in there. So what am I going to do? Can't find any carpet locally. Don't want to buy it online because it's too expensive. I only need 2 metres by 1 metre, which will then be cut in half to make a 2 metre by 50 centimetre. And that's enough for each footwell. And then I thought, well, you've already got carpets in there. Why don't you just use the existing carpets you've got and actually sew them all together so they cover that spar nicely and they look a bit nicer. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Car's outside, let's go and have a quick look and you'll see what I mean. So what have we got? Now this carpet, I've currently got the wrong way round. This should be up there, which is annoying because I like to put my feet on the rubbery bit. But if I just quickly swap this one around, you'll see what I mean. It's got this big cutout in the corner here. I'm not sure which way round this is meant to go. It looks like it should go that way round because you've got the rubber bit for the feet next to the pedals. But I'm not too sure. It's got poppers on both ends, and I know that you're meant to have poppers on this spar. I'm guessing the poppers went here and here, and they don't really line up either way. If I line that popper up there, that one is, well, it's close. But as you can see, it's already been cut by the previous owner to make it fit in the car. And it's not long enough to go over that spar. And I don't want to drill holes in this and start putting poppers in. I just want one piece of carpet that comes under here, goes over the spar, down the other side, scoops up the back, and then probably a bit of Velcro in on the back to hold it against the bulkhead. I don't want to be drilling holes, I don't want to be putting poppers in unless I absolutely have to. The rest of the carpets are fine. The tunnel cover and everything, I'm happy with that, not a problem at all. It is just literally this bit in the front that I don't like. So, I have got this carpets. These are small passenger footwell carpets that you get, you get in a set of 4 when you go to your local auto shop. I bought them for my other car. I've got the main carpets in the front. I don't need the carpets in the back, they've already got ones in there. So I had a couple of these free. So I thought, why not make all these carpets into one. So I can take the seat out, take that carpet out, I can sew this one onto this one, cutting the edging off nice and carefully. Okay, this will still have a bit of white on the bias tape there on the side. Have that actually moulded by putting stitch lines into the corners so that I can get a nice 90-degree turn where it goes over the pillar in the middle, because that pillar is bloody ugly, isn't it? Goes over that and then carries on and runs up the front into there. As I say, I have black carpet. I just have it in 3 pieces rather than one long piece. So let's have a look at this and see if this is feasible. Okay, we've got a plan. I forgot I had a load of bits of carpet that I got when I got these carpets that I didn't use. Some of them were duplicates. This one is the piece that goes behind the seats. So I've chopped this one down to the right size. This is going to become the bridge that goes over the middle. Stitched onto the edge of this carpet. This carpet is laid out how I want it. I need to do a little bit of tidying up at the back there where it's been cut, but that pushes all the cuts down to that end where you can't see them, and I can tidy them up. And you get your foot plate there, which, is close enough to where your heels are going to be. It's not exactly right, but it's not that far off either. So then, essentially all I've got to do is sew those 3 bits of carpet together. I need to put some horizontal stitches in this one to actually pinch it up and give it a nice profile. And that should be it. It should look like then one nice long continuous carpet throughout. Once that side's done, I'm happy with that side, and I know it's worked. I can tackle the passenger side another day, but most of the time it's me in the car on my own. So I just want this carpet straight. What I don't want to be doing is every time at the moment I get in, I have to grab hold of the carpet here and pull it and push it so it doesn't get stuck behind the pedals, and it's annoying me. And then, like I say, what we'll do is we'll just sew a bit of Velcro in on the top edge of the carpet, some sticky back Velcro, stick up against the bulkhead, save putting poppers in, and I can peel it off again in the future should I need to. So I suppose we're going to take that seat out, aren't we? This is going to be fun. Yeah, it could do with the Hoover, whatever. I remember now how much of a slag it was putting those seats in. The bolts for the rails are captive nuts. They don't go through the bottom. And trying to line up the bolt with the carpet and the amazing underlay underneath it, I may pull all this stuff out and replace it, because this stuff is just pure nasty. And like I say, trying to fish bolts through while you've got a seat balanced on your head, it's not good, is what I'm saying. Anyway, that one's out. So let's grab this, grab our carpets, jump in the car, go down the workshop and get the machines fired up. Yes, down in the workshop. You looking at, dog? What? Okay, so first thing we've got to do is get our little square that's going to go over that spar straight. So we've got the width measurement right. All I've done here is just hem the edges. You probably can't see very well because of the light, but you can. There's a hem on it. Okay, I folded it over and I put a stitch on it. That's what I mean by a hem. Ordinarily when you're doing carpets you'd use some of this. This is the bias binding tape. It's a plastic or vinyl tape that you sew onto the side of carpets to give it a nice clean edge. Don't have any of that in black. I've got it in some other colours, but I don't have any black. So next best thing, fold it over, put a stitch down it, and you get a nice clean edge. obviously not a furry edge. Now, in terms of the machine we're going to have to use, we're going to use the old boot patcher, because this carpet, what is it with people making noise every time I'm trying to film? Next door having a new roof put on. It's been going on for 4 months. Cutting tiles, hammering. You never knew you could make a house with hammers. Apparently you can. So we're going to use the old boot patcher. Our normal machine, our Brother Etc. E40, I'm a bit worried because this stuff is quite thick backed. I don't want to be snapping needles going through 2 or 3 layers of this. It's got a, you can hear that backing on it. It's got a very crispy backing. That and fine sewing needles don't mix. Whereas the boot patcher, that will sew your hands to your skull. It is nails. I'll show you. So this is the machine we normally use, which is our E40. I use this for 99.9% of all the sewing stuff I do. I actually made my own trousers. So these rather fetching trousers. We had some spare fabric lying around. Pretty good, I think. If any of you are Star Wars fans, you might notice the pattern. As I say, that machine isn't going to cut it today, so we're going to have to use this one, which is a Singer boot patcher. Let me close that fucking door. Shut up. So it's a Singer boot patcher. Good thing about a boot patcher, firstly, it's got a really long neck on it, so you can get that right inside. Obviously, it's meant for sewing soles onto boots, so you can get your boot right onto there. Secondly, it's got an adjustable foot. You can swing the foot around. So normally when you're sewing, you have to turn the piece you're sewing as you go. With this, you don't. You can keep the piece in one place and you can actually move the foot around to change the angle of the stitch, which is a really, really good idea. This uses a much thicker thread. This is more like a string than a typical sewing thread. Much thicker, because, like I say, it's designed for sewing. It's designed for sewing soles onto boots. Talk about value for money. This was made in 1903, and here we are today, 2022, still using it. And the term "it runs like a sewing machine" couldn't be more applicable. It does run like a sewing machine. It's a hand crank. You just crank it around, and it does the rest for you. This is cast iron, like I say, made in the UK here by Singer, who make all the sewing machines back in the day during the Industrial Revolution. And the very fact that it's still here, sewing for us today, 120 years later, I think is pretty cool. I sometimes wonder about the first person who bought that machine. Did they have any idea? You know, what was it originally used for? It would have been made for making Victorian era boots, high, thick soles for ladies. You know, boots for men, leather. And that very machine would be used for that. Who would have thought that now, like I say, 120 years later, that machine would still be still making boots and being used by someone like me today? I think that's quite cool. Most people don't care, but I think that's quite cool. Old and, you know, the term "things were built to last" back in the day is very, very applicable, and it's very, very true. Things were built to last back in the day. It's made of cast iron. You find me a cast iron sewing machine made today, you won't. They're all made of plastic. So unless you're talking about industrial machines, you know, home sewing machines are made of plastic. But that thing is the boy. So anyway, enough about sewing machines. You don't care about that, do you? You want to see the carpets. So yes, so that one's been hemmed up nicely already. So now all we're going to need to do is now attach that one to the other one. So this is our carpet that goes underneath the seat. So the seat sits here. This is the front of the seat here. We'll then have the ridge will then sit up like this. This is that goes over the main spar, and then the front part of the carpet under your feet will go onto the end here. So the first thing I need to do is I need to put some stitches in this, because carpet is very floppy. Yes, you can crease it and put a semi-decent crease in it, but it's not going to stay like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to pinch it over. We're going to put a stitch right down the edge there, just to make a seam in it, so we get a nice square top to it. Once we've got a nice square profile in that, we can then attach it to both this part and the other part, and hopefully it'll be one seamless transition of carpet, and it's ready to go back in again. Easier said than done sometimes, but the only measurement I took was to cut a small piece of carpet which is the width of that spar. And I should be able to work out from the width of that spar how much I need both sides. You know what I mean. Right, actually I think we might be onto a winner. Just tried it through the machine out of curiosity and it seems to like it. Or it doesn't seem to be screaming at me. Good old machine. I'm not going to go through the hem because that's 4 layers. It's been folded over once that way and then it's been folded over that way. So I'm not going to go right to the hem because that probably will snap a needle, but we'll come as close as we dare. And there we go. That's the shape we're looking for. Let's put that nice crease in there for us. Apologies, the light in here isn't amazing. Alright, so that's one side done. So then we can use our little square to measure off from that. Put our next side in, and that should give us the perfect width across the spar. And hopefully then have enough left on the verticals to do the thing. Let's give it a whiz. Open her up. One square section of carpet. Eagle-eyed viewers might notice I'm using green thread because I can't be able to rethread the machine in black. But because the carpet pile is so thick you cannot see the stitches through it anyway, so it makes no odds to me. So there's our rather natty spar cover. Now I've just got to join the whole thing together, and now I also know that I can put 2 layers of this through this machine, means I can use this machine, which is a lot faster than using the boot patcher. Don't get me wrong, the boot patcher is an amazing bit of kit, but for speed, you see how fast this thing runs. And it does also back tacking, so as soon as you start stitching, it does 2 stitches back, 2 stitches forward to lock the stitch, and then when you finish and you rock the heel back on the pedal, it also does another 2 stitches forward, 2 stitches back, so it automatically locks all the stitches for you. So it's pretty cool. Right, let's stick it all together and see what happens. Okay, that's the first piece done. She's all attached. Now we just need to stick the front on. Okay. Okay, I think we got it. So 2 things left to do. Firstly, I need to sew some Velcro on at the top, where I can stick it onto the bulkhead behind the pedals, and I'll then spray glue some Velcro onto the bulkhead, and then need to give the thing a good clean, because as you can see it's absolutely filthy. So we'll give it a good hoover while we're here. And then we should be something like it. Right, bit of hook and loop, or this is the hook side, attached to the back of the top of the carpet. That should keep it and stop it slipping down inside the pedals. And because now we've got a box section on the spar, it can't get pulled that way because the box is there, and it can't get pulled back that way because it'll be velcroed on. That's the plan. Anyway, let's see what happens. And after a very good hoover. Right, let's get her home. Oh, it's not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, that just looks better, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Now, I'd be lying if I said it was perfect. It ain't perfect. It's pulled the seat carpet here forward slightly, just because, you know, because I didn't take any measurements or make any templates. I just cut a small piece and eyeballed the rest, which I have a very bad habit of doing. But there we go. It's my car, right? So what I'll need to do now is to reline up the holes for the seats, poke new holes in, put the bolts in, and this, I know, putting the seat back in is going to be an absolute dog. I remember putting them in the first time, they were a nightmare, and I'm expecting nothing less now. So let's just get on with it before it starts raining. Oh. You get sunshine and you get rain, and obviously I can't do it in there because, you know. Right, stop procrastinating, do it. We are done. Looks better, doesn't it? Yeah. Is it perfect? No. Like everything I do, it's not perfect. It's a budget, do it at home, DIY, on the cheap, don't buy the proper tools, don't buy the proper materials, just blag it with what you've got. Which is pretty much the way I work. Oops, sorry, excuse the zoom. I make no bones about it. That's just, you know, that's just what I've always done. As I've said before a few times, I don't come from a privileged background or anything even remotely like that. You know, my family are as working class as they come. And I don't mean like, oh, woe is me. What I mean is, I'm used to doing without. I'm used to making do with what I've got. I'm used to repairing my clothes rather than buying new ones. You know, I'm that sort of person. Which I'm okay with. That's cool. Teaches you a lot about life, right? So yeah, a lot of my work is a sort of budget job, but that I think is more realistic for most, I say for most people, for some people looking to do similar sort of things to what I've done, restoring a car, on a limited budget with limited resources, limited tools and limited space. You sort of do the best you can. As I've said from the beginning, all the work I've done, all the videos I've done on the car, I could have outsourced if I had the money. I could have paid someone else to do it and said, look, I just want a car. I just want a nice car to drive around on a summer's day, just take it, do what needs doing to it, and bring it back to me when it's done. But you don't learn anything like that, do you? You know, you don't learn. And it's important to learn. You know, learning's fun, or it should be, learning new skills. Some people don't care, I get that, they just want an easy life. Cool. But I don't. I like a challenge. I don't like it at the time, it drives me up the wall. I shout, swear, hit the punch bag indoors, I do all kinds of things. But when it's done and you can stand back and say, I did that, it's a nice feeling. It is a nice feeling. So, it's a long way of saying, the carpet's done. It's cost me nothing. I've used existing carpets and a bit of ingenuity and a couple of sewing machines. So, I'm quite happy with that. We'll see how it wears. I'm sure it'll be fine. I do need to get a bit of spray glue on the Velcro that goes against the bulkhead. I'm not going to do that now because it's about 2 PM. I'm hungry. I've had no lunch. I need a drink. I need a cup of tea and a sit down. So we'll leave that one there. I will do the passenger side at some point. But yeah, nightmare. Like I say, I would have started from scratch with fresh templates had I been able to find some black carpet at a half decent price, and I just can't. Like I say, you can get it online, but A, I don't want 4 meters of it, I only want 1 or 2, and I don't want to pay 50 odd quid for the privilege, because as soon as you're paying 50 quid for carpet, you may as well pay 60, 70 odd quid and get ones that are already cut and trimmed with Triumph logos on them. So, I mean, that would be much, much easier, don't get me wrong, you know. But it's the weekend, it's a Saturday, I do almost all of my work on a Saturday and a Sunday. In the summer when I was doing the car, I'd do a bit in the morning when it was bright and a bit in the evening when I got home from work. It was warm, you had plenty more daylight. Now we're sort of shifting to mid-October, the days are getting shorter, it's getting colder, and I don't want to be out here in the dark in the morning doing work on the car. And to be fair, there's not much left to do on the car now. I'm really sort of picking all the little bits Partially because I want to get it sort of to a complete state, and partly because I like making videos. I just do. I like video editing and, you know, that kind of thing. And you know, if people enjoy watching them, then I'll keep making them, and I'll find something else to do. So part of it is just me finding things to do for the sake of making videos. But yeah, I don't mind. Carpets, right? So I'll have one more quick peek at the carpet, and I'll leave it at that. The other side will obviously be the same as the other side, just in mirror image. And again, the whole point was really just to make it a nice seamless join between the seat and the footwell carpet, and get something to cover that bridge in there. Need to squeeze it in a little bit, just to poke it down nicely, just to cover up that ugly join. And I think that looks alright. Yeah. Passenger side, got a slightly different carpet in there. I've sort of pulled that one back to cover the join. That's the other spare carpet I had for the back of the car. I've just stuck it in there, just for something to put for the wife to put her feet on. But like I say, I will go around to that side, and I want to, again, tidy that wiring in a little bit better as well. And still need to finish the glove box. I need to put a top on that glove box, tidy that out of the way. Always things to do, always things to do. As always, thanks for watching. Do appreciate it. Any comments? Leave them down there. Even if it's just to say, mate, you're such a skinflint. I can't believe, you know, that's cool. I'll take that as well. You're quite right. But yeah, any comments welcome. And to all those of you that watch and comment, as I will say, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm never going to put adverts on. I'm never going to ask for money. Okay, don't worry. I'm never going to say subscribe, like, share, thanks, hit the notification. I can't stand all that shit. You know, some of the YouTube channels I watch have started doing that recently. Use the super thanks feature, Patreon, PayPal, a few pounds for money in the gas tank. I'm not going to ask anyone to pay for fixing my car. I don't know. Maybe if I was a successful YouTuber and I was earning, you know, a good annual salary from it, it'd be a different story. But for the few hundred people that follow, yeah, don't worry, I'm never going to ask you for anything. I say that now. But yeah, right, stop rambling, leave it there, thank you very much, and I'll see you all again soon for something else. Again, still a few things left to do, electrical, wiring, tidy up, and at some point in the future, still toying with this idea, at some point in the future, of making my own fiberglass bonnet for the car. Think Dodge Charger, 68, 69 Charger with a single hideaway headlight grille, not the one with the fin in the middle. I think that was 71 onwards, 70, 71 onwards, when I had the fin in the middle. No, a big whale shark, open mouth, finned grille. That just looks sick. And if you think it looks crap, or it will look crap on a car like this, have a look at the Camaro SS 68 ragtop, I think it is. It has that same style single piece front fins grille with the flip up lights, and that's a small two-seater convertible, and it looks sick. And I'd still like to make one. It'll be a bit of a challenge, but I can sculpt, I can fiberglass, I can cast. Is it possible? Maybe. Don't know. Project for another day. Anyway, see you all again soon. Have fun. Take care.